Hey guys, we're finally here,
We're
live.
on Facebook.
Woohoo! We had a few minor technical difficulties, but we're here.
Here we are. I'm Anna Wood. I play Captain Maya Dobbins on the code.
And I'm Luke Mitchell. I played Captain John Abe Abraham on the code that premieres tonight, 9/8 Central.
Yep, on CBS. Check us out.
Yeah. Before we get into the questions, we're going to play a little game called Guilty or Not Guilty, where we ask each other questions, and the other one has to be honest.
Oof.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Yeah, because this one's killing
It's a
me.
doozy.
Luke.
Yeah.
Have you ever eaten dessert before dinner?
No, I don't think I have. Not guilty.
Lame.
Well, I'm sorry, okay? Anna, guilty or not guilty, have you ever jumped out of a plane?
No, God, no.
So that would be...
Not guilty.
Thank you.
That's not for me. Have you?
No.
Okay. Have you ever seen a psychic?
Not guilty. I'm not a huge fan of psychics.
Why, they freak you out?
No, I just,
Don't buy it?
don't really have a need,
Okay.
What about
Fair
you?
enough.
You have, haven't you?
Sort
you
of.
totally have.
I've done past life regression, which is when you get hypnotized and then
You find out who you were in a past life?
Yeah.
Who were you?
A pirate. Obviously. What do you think? You buy it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how much of me was like going along with it because I wanted it to be a thing.
You wanted to be a pirate.
Yeah, I might have just said that because that's what I had decided on. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Let's move on swiftly, shall we?
Yes.
Guilty or not guilty? Have you ever played a prank on set?
I'm sure. I mean, the thing is, I'm not good at like elaborate pre-planning. Probably guilty, but I am really into like making you laugh.
Yeah, mischief on the spot.
Yeah, I'm mischievous. I'm the set clown. So I don't know. I remember like telling you that I wanted to take a souvenir from set, and you're like, cool. And I walked in with like a giant face.
She was expecting me to laugh, and I just stared at her with a blank face.
Yep.
Keep trying.
Guilty or not guilty? Have you ever accidentally sent a text to the wrong person?
Yeah. I mean, of course, that guilty. That happens.
Yeah,
sure.
everybody's done
Yeah.
that.
I can't think of a particularly terrible time, but
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Guilty or not guilty? Have you ever dyed your hair a crazy color?
Yes, I've had my hair a couple of shades of pink. I had it sort of a pastel pink like 2 years ago.
Was this when you were a pirate or
no?
this
was
life?
Post
That was
right.
This
Okay.
Yeah.
Incantation. And then I also had it like solid, hot, like electric pink.
Oh wow.
For a movie.
Cool.
Called Chronicle, starring my husband Dane DeHaan. Luke, guilty or not guilty? Have you ever crashed a wedding?
Not guilty.
You're so pure.
No. Well,
pretty
you
sure
know,
you did.
look, I'm not saying I wouldn't. I'm just saying I need a good reason to. And at this point in time, I haven't had a good reason to crash a wedding. So.
Cool.
I mean, I'm out of questions, so.
Oh, okay.
You keep
Well, have
going.
you ever regifted anything?
Yeah.
What was it?
Probably something pretty crappy. That's why I didn't want it.
Yeah. Well, that was our last guilty or not guilty.
Should we get into some actual questions now?
Let's.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to?
Okay, should we just start with the first one? Is
Yeah.
that the best way to do
Pick
this?
this bad boy up.
Sure.
Go
Well,
on. Oh,
well,
no? Okay.
all right.
Yeah. Okay. We will.
What drew you to this role, and what were you most excited about?
When I first read the pilot of the code, I was immediately drawn in. It was very smart writing. I really liked all of the characters, really. I'd never played a lawyer before. I didn't really know anything about the Marine Corps or the military as a whole. And it was just a really fascinating world, really. And I thought, yeah, I'd like to give that a shot.
Yeah.
Good
at it.
What about you? Oh, thank you. What about you?
I really liked. I have played a lawyer before. I love playing a lawyer. My parents always say that I would be a lawyer if I wasn't an actor. I'm argumentative.
And talkative.
And talkative.
Yeah.
And good at getting people to agree with me eventually. But I really liked what a strong woman Captain Maya Dobbins is. And I also really loved the challenge of playing a lawyer, yes, but playing a Marine first and a woman in sort of a typically male-driven world. I love all those layers, and I like having to balance them. I love the challenge of that. And so I it's like a heightened language, and I thought that was a lot of fun. You want to ask one?
Sure, yeah. What's next? Okay, what is a memorable experience you had while filming the show?
Oh, so much fun. We had a really good time on our show. Like, really, really wonderful time. God, I mean, so many... What... a lot... What's fun is there is some silliness to our show. There's some humor, but behind the scenes we can tend to be very silly. We take our jobs very seriously, but there are occasional giggles. I think because we have long days and we all really like each other. And we were just talking about this before we went live, but I'll never forget the day we were losing daylight. We had to get inside. We had this scene we needed to shoot. It was a very important, pivotal moment in the episode.
Very serious moment.
Very serious, not funny in any way. And we were walking and having this very serious conversation. And then
it's from tonight's episode, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And we would stop and then have to be like, give each other this sort of shocked realization. And for some reason, you and I in particular, like, could not make eye contact. Or I think neither of you could make eye contact with me. I'm not sure what happened, but every time we locked eyes, we just lost it. And the crew was getting really annoyed with us because we were taking way too long to do something very simple, but we just fell apart.
We got the giggles.
Oh my God.
And once you get the giggles, it's very difficult to
unget them?
Ungiggle.
Especially for you.
Yeah, especially for me. I'm going to go one more and then I'll give it back to you.
Okay.
All right. What are you most... well, no, there's no most in there. What are you excited for fans to see in tonight's episode?
Well, I'm excited for everyone to see. So I've gotten really close with the cast. I'm really excited for everyone to see my friends. I think everybody on our show is so good, and I'm so proud of you, and I'm so proud of Otto and Rafi and Philippa and Dana. And so I'm just really excited for everybody to tune in and see what awesome work all of my buddies did.
Cool.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Okay. Okay. What is the most unexpected or surprising thing you learned about being in the military from doing the show?
You can't put your hands in your pockets. And for this seems like such a small thing, but for me, I'm like super casual and I love putting my hands in my pockets. It's just like what I do. And you're not allowed to, even though there are pockets there. In fact, you're not even allowed to use your pockets.
You can't put anything in them.
It's like such a tease. Like they're just there.
Yeah.
You can't do anything. You got to work out what else to do with your hands.
Yeah, that is frustrating. Yeah. I'm going to throw you another one as you established.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you both do to get into character, and how do you get out of character? Follow-up question.
Ooh.
Does a little piece of Abe or Maya stay with you even when you are done filming?
Well, I think, first of all, I'm Australian, and I use an American accent when I'm playing Abe, so, that's a pretty obvious switch in and out of character. What was it? How do
you get into character? How do you get out of character?
Oh, not the preparation. Just like what do you on the day?
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the accent is a huge thing for me to make sure that my mouth is warmed up because the American accent is very different to the Australian accent. Just my natural accent is very lazy. And the American accent, the American accent that I do for Abe is the opposite of that. So, I got to do a lot of vocal warm-ups. So, yeah, that's my starting point.
And does a little piece of Abe stay with you even when you're done filming?
Well, I mean, I have to clean shave every day, and that's really not me. So that's definitely Abe, and that has to stay with me.
I love how impactful your, and I'm not judging. I genuinely love it how impactful your beard or lack of beard is to you.
It completely changes my vibe.
That makes total sense to me.
Yeah.
Well, it's a different style and look, and I'm sure it feels different. I have never myself had a beard, although, as you know, I once wore a fake mustache in a play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Against my will. Matt Bullock.
Are you taking another question?
No. I just want to answer that Maya stays with me. I just want to answer part of it myself.
Okay. No, go for it.
She stays with me because she is super strong and unapologetic, and I really feel like I've gotten to take a lot of that on, and I'm much better at claiming my space and not being apologizing.
You're a pretty strong woman.
Thank you.
Prior to this, though.
Thank you, but now I'm even stronger.
All right. What has been the most challenging part of the series so far, and what has been the most entertaining?
For me, the most challenging part of so I this is my first big job after having a kid, and I do spend a lot of time. My husband is also an actor, and he spends a lot of time, has this last year, out of the country. So there have been like weeks and spans of weeks into months where he's been out of the country. I've been leading a show and also being a single mom. And so just balancing all that out has been definitely the most challenging. You know, our show's not easy to do.
She's kind of a superwoman.
Thank you. That's nice. Thank you. Our show is challenging in all kinds of ways, but for me, all kinds of ways.
It was additionally challenging for you.
Yeah. To find the time to prepare for all of our super thick dialogue. And also make sure that my kid was so taken care of that I didn't have a piece of my brain worrying about her while I was at work, which I didn't. Thank you. Shout out to Liz. And most entertaining?
Yeah.
Honestly, just working with my friends. I mean, I just really love our whole cast, and we have a really great time together. And it's truly, it doesn't matter if it's 5 a.m. start time or 5 a.m. end time. We just really have a blast together, and it is always fun. Always fun.
Yeah, I concur. I would say the most challenging part of the series, I mean, the dialogue. It's very dialogue heavy. Thankfully, it's very well written, but you know, just it's the most amount of dialogue I've ever had to learn and to deliver convincingly. You know, so that's been a huge challenge. Most entertaining, Anna and Pippa in between takes are just constantly on and hilarious, and pushing my buttons and trying to get reactions out of me.
We do like to mess with you.
Yeah.
And you like to be messed with.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Next question. What do you like about your character, and do they have similar behavior as characters that you've played in the past?
Well, what I love about Maya is that she's just super, super unapologetic and strong and not afraid to go head-to-head with anyone if it means fighting for justice and fighting for the truth. She's just really fearless in that way. And, you know, I don't know, every character I played, of course, shares some qualities in common because it comes from me, but they've all been really, really different. I would say that Maya, I've played a lawyer before multiple times, but I would say that Maya is the most like driven and singularly focused and married to her work and just incredibly diligent, and I love that about her. How about you?
I love I love Abe's intelligence and his confidence. You know, he's definitely the most confident character I've ever played, and that's a big challenge for me because I'm not the most confident guy. So you know, to overcome. Thanks, Anna.
You're welcome.
To find my way into that has been really interesting. Similar behavior to as other characters you've played. Yeah, I mean, there's always little bits and pieces. I don't know if there's anything specifically that jumps out to me that Abe is similar to other characters. He's quite different in a lot of ways. So yeah, I'll say no for the most part. Over to you.
Alrighty. What was the first day on set like for both of you?
First day on set was... What was the first day on set? Oh man. We've shot so many scenes. What was the first day?
Oh, I know. It was in the second episode, and we were in the conference room.
Oh yeah, my first scene was with Pippa.
Yeah.
And then we had the conference room scene with Dana. So I went from working with a Hamilton star to working with Queen. So pretty daunting. I was very nervous, and yeah.
So my first day on set was the same. We all had the same first day of the series.
Did everyone work? Yeah.
I think it was everyone's first day.
It must have been.
So I was just so excited. I was also, like I said, I was getting back to work after having a kid, so I was a little like feeling a little rusty. Also, sets are extremely cold. So I remember being like, oh, God, it's so freezing when we walked in. But it was really exciting. We were all in, one of our first scenes was the whole cast, and we were all in the conference room together, and it just felt really like the beginning of something very special. And it was. Not follow-up question. Next question. What was your favorite part of shooting the show? Any favorite scenes?
Favorite. How do you define a favorite scene?
It's hard.
I mean, the scenes that we shot in the premiere for at the airport with the plane, they're dope.
Pretty cool.
Really cool scenes. Getting to wear the dress blue uniform is a really amazing experience. Don't know. And then I don't know. Maybe the courtroom scenes in the finale. That was fairly hectic.
Yeah, those were amazing. I always love scenes where you can see, and I love everything on our show, but I always love scenes where you can see a little bit of the person's struggle shine through, whether it, whether they're dealing with something in their personal life or they're dealing with something at work, but whatever they're going through in their personal life is sort of butting its head up to the surface. I always love when the person has a couple of things going on and they have to juggle them in their own soul, which happens a lot on our show because we do get to know our characters in a personal way. So anytime I got to juggle, I think one of my favorite scenes is when we're in the barracks together and we're all like getting ready for bed and we're at work, but we're somewhere in between like work and personal.
And the facade comes down a little bit.
Yeah, and we get to sort of confide in each other. That's probably one of my favorite scenes.
They were fun scenes.
After you.
Thank you, ma'am. Last question, guys. Okay. What can fans look forward to in the rest of the season?
That's a great last
Anna
question.
Wood?
I think what you can look forward to in our show is we're going to keep diving into sort of the inner workings of the military, and you're going to get to know it in a way that you probably haven't really known it before. You get to know some of these, not just the main characters, but Marines who are serving overseas, active duty Marines in combat zones, and you just get to know them in a more like human, intimate way. Who they're leaving behind when they go to Afghanistan, or like what relationships they formed while they're there.
What their lives are actually like.
Yeah, and what happens to them when they come back. So we can look forward to that, as well as just getting to know these guys a little bit more intimately. And
you do get to know all 6 of the main characters pretty intimately throughout the course of the season.
And everybody has a really interesting home life that they're balancing with a very consuming professional life.
Yep.
And
that'll about do it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Make sure you catch our premiere tonight at
9/8 Central on CBS. The Code. Woo!